Indeed, it is a memory of an old Christmas card. The voice, the unrelenting voice of Jim Reeves in the morning time. Before Jim Reeves, you got a taste of Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers. Good morning. It is Friday. It's a fantastic Friday. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you wherever you are. And we're happy that you've chosen classic in the morning time. You slept, you rested comfortably enough, and you're ready for the demands and asking of another great day. It's about 25 minutes actually on to the hour of 7 o'clock. And welcome to Good Morning Grenada. I'm Joseph Cadore, and I'm here to keep you company for the greater part of your morning. Indeed, it is a wonderful Friday morning. We're up and about. When I left home, it was a bit wet on the outside, but what's new? It is the rainy season. And so I want to say good morning to you, those of you that's on Jimmy and Radio. You're probably locked in here at home across the region and other parts of the diaspora. So depending on where you are, I have to say good morning, good afternoon, good night to you. Thank you for choosing classic in the morning time. Thank you for making a decisive decision to change your life, to do something different, to be part of a positive change. Well, on the whole subject of positivity, today I give you the word of the day. Your word of the day for today is metaphor. A metaphor. And metaphor is a noun. And it is spelled M-E-T-A-P-H-O-R. So we get M-E-T-A-P-H-O-R. Metaphor. And a metaphor is a word or phrase for one thing that is used to refer to another thing in order to show or to suggest that they are similar. So, a metaphor, and it's a literary device, is a word or phrase for one thing that is used to refer to another thing in order to show that they are similar. He was drowning in paperwork is a metaphor which in as having to deal with, it means basically the person has a lot of paperwork to do, and that is being compared to them drowning in an ocean. His poem includes many imaginative metaphors. So, in an object, there's activity and idea that is used to symbolize something else. It is the use. That's what a metaphor is. So, keep it in mind today for all you English students. You would at some point in time you will definitely encounter them. So let's just probably give you a few examples of metaphors. I'll give you this one from Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa, why you popped up here? You don't need to be here. Love is the fruit in season at all times and in reach of every hand. A metaphor from time. She was the black sheep of the family, and I know that has nothing to do with Krista or myself. Well, it says she, so it must have been Krista. I wonder. Maybe it's him or he. So she was the black sheep of the family. That is a metaphor, and it is used figuratively. So, just a few metaphors as you go. This one from Aristotle. He once wrote, "To be a master of metaphor is a sign of genius." The great Aristotle wrote that. So, the word of the day, metaphor. Keep it in mind, and remember, you'll probably bounce it up. You will meet it up somewhere, somehow, as you go through your day, you go through life, as you go through school. Metaphor. The thought of the day, and we're not using this one metaphorically, this is literal. Yeah? Some things are used metaphorically. This one we're using it literal. The first thought of the day. If you can see the opportunity in every obstacle you face, then nothing can stop you from happiness or success. Now, let's internally digest this one. If you can see the opportunity in every obstacle you face, then nothing can stop you from your happiness. For the business students, I know you do what is called a SWOT analysis. So in businesses, you use it to evaluate where the business is positioned. So your strength, your weaknesses, your threats. But in the midst of the SWOT, S-W-O-T, they are the strengths, they are the weaknesses. But as with life, just in business, with every opportunity, with every threat, there comes an opportunity. And if you can see the opportunity in every obstacle you face, then nothing can stop you from happiness or your success. Think about it. Look beyond where you are at present and see what are the golden opportunities that are available to you as you look at the clock. Because the truth is, as you go to the thought for the day number 2, success never comes around to look for you while you wait around. Success never comes around to look for you while you wait around. You've got to get up and work at it and make your dreams come true. Nothing's going to happen while you sit idly by doing nothing. You know the expression, God help those, he helps those who help themselves? That's what you've got to do. Get up, do something. That's how success comes. There's no such thing as luck, in case you're wondering. Luck, what people refer to as luck, is what I determine is when preparation, it meets opportunity. In life, there's no such thing as luck. You have to prepare. But when the opportunity comes, you have to grab it with both hands. There's no such thing as luck, in case you're wondering. Luck doesn't exist. There are blessings, though. And the good Lord, he blesses us bountifully in more ways than we probably sometimes even care to recognize. But there's no such thing as luck when it comes to life. But there are health tips I can offer you as you keep your eyes on the clock. It is 20 minutes to 19 minutes actually onto the 7 o'clock hour. There are such things as luck. Oh no, what's wrong with it? There's no such thing as luck. What I'm offering you now is your health tips of the day. So you are encouraged to live a better life, that you have a breakfast every day, nice healthy breakfast, and that you eat fish once or twice a week. You are encouraged, we are all encouraged to eat at least one green food per day, at least. Have that. You are watch our salt intake. Slow down. Temper yourself. You're going a little bit too fast. And try at least one new health recipe per week. And you are encouraged to just drink more water. Just drink more water. It helps with dehydration, flushing your system. Just a few health tips for the day. Yes? Nothing is possibly wrong with that. I remind you as you go through this day, I want to encourage you a positive mental attitude. That's what we want to be able to adopt. Positive mental attitude, where we eliminate the negative and we embrace the positive. And as you go through the day, remind yourself that there's no I in team. Together we can do this. Whatever our situation is, whatever our circumstances are, we can do it collectively. Yes? We can do it collectively. The morning edition comes up next, and it is at the top of the hour. But before we do that, though, I said there's something I just recognized that I didn't do for you. Krista, how could we have missed that one? And that's no fault of yours. But if you can, throw it up on screen. But it is the COVID dashboard. And my apologies, Chris, I didn't send it for you, so don't feel too bad. But hospitalized cases, how many patients hospitalized? None. Nobody's hospitalized. One new recovery, one recovered individual. So that's where we are with COVID. And again, the great news in all of this, the really great news in all of this, is that for a while now, really just been quite a while, the death column has remained unchanged. It's been at 200, and that's where we like it, folks. 200 deaths, too much. But at least we come to God, giving God thanks and praise. But keep in mind, though, we continue. Thank you, Krista. Thank you for the purpose of those of you that is on television. Yes, so just new active cases, 75. Two new ones, a total of 75 active cases, and we continue to play our part. Wearing our mask, so sanitizing. I've got my sanitizer right here at me, and it's never actually far. It's right here. Even when I'm in the studio all by myself, every now and again, you know what? I guess maybe I'm protecting myself against me. Yes. The morning edition comes up next right here on Classic. It is 17 minutes on to the hour of 7 o'clock. For the purpose of those of you that's on television, you get a repeat of some of the top stories from last evening. I want to say a special good morning to a dear friend of mine. I bumped up yesterday, Mr. Ian Redhead. I say grace and peace to you, sir, this wonderful morning. Yes, we had that wonderful conversation, and we know life is full of its challenges, but we're up, we're about, and we're giving God thanks for life. giving him thanks for life. The morning edition is next, right here on Classic in the Morning Time. But the way of programming, when I return on the other side of the clock, two guests this morning, Dr. Marcia Mc Millan, as we continue our conversation on dental care, and we have a representative from the Red Cross that would be in this morning. At 8 o'clock, we leave you, join the BBC for a bulletin of news. At 9 o'clock, we return for To The Point with an Open Line Friday. The morning edition comes up next, 16 minutes onto the hour of 7 o'clock.
Thanks for joining us with the news in detail. I am Blossom Alexis Welsh. Good night once again. Top story tonight, reminiscing on the structural adjustment program and the attrition policy in 2013 to 2021, whereby public servants demanded their salary increases. NDC's Deacon Mitchell recalls the bitter battle that ensued. Now, miraculously, 2 years into a pandemic and reductions in government's revenues, Mitchell says the NNP administration is paying a Christmas bonus to public servants. Mr. Mitchell is concerned as to whether government will truly honor these promises.
According to NDC's political leader Deacon Mitchell, an estimated $23 million wage bill for public officers minus pension will have to be paid before Christmas. Despite being refuted by government officials as not being a gimmick, Mitchell says he finds it hard to believe when considering the circumstances involved.
The Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Finance has put out a circular number 21 of 2021, and it says this regarding one above, and the one above is quoting what the Minister of Finance said in Parliament. The Royal Grenada Police Force and the Ministry of Health are kindly asked to submit by Friday, 5th December, which is this Friday, the categories of all such workers who would qualify for the additional 1 month's pay.
During the budget presentation, Minister of Finance Gregory Bowen announced an extra month's pay for frontline public officers who faced the brunt of the pandemic. Other public officers were not left out of the benefits as a half month's pay was promised.
So I ask yourself this question: who is determining whether a police officer was exposed to the risk of COVID-19 or not? Who is determining whether a doctor or a nurse was exposed to the risk of COVID-19 or not?
Noting the target date for payments being December 16th, Mitchell says the fine print says otherwise.
It says regarding two above, the criteria for qualifying for an additional half month's pay is currently being developed. Let me repeat. The criteria for qualifying for an additional half month's pay is currently being developed, and payments to all qualifying workers will be made during the first quarter of 2022.
NDC's leader impresses that while police officers, due to the pandemic, have had to work around the clock on the front line and issue passes, only an extra payment is expected.
How do we reward the police officers? Merely by a token 1 month's pay? Merely by a token 1 month's pay when the government is fully aware that the pay scale for police officers have not been adjusted since 1995.
I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
Reducing the annual $300 million food import bill will be of major importance for the Ministry of Agriculture next year. Minister Peter David says they are focusing on a number of areas that are geared toward ultimately decreasing the nation's dependency on imported products. Here's Gerard Joseph with that story.
Making strides in the development of the livestock sector, according to Agriculture Minister Peter David, will be one of the primary focuses in reducing the food import bill for Grenada. The minister says Laura in St. David will become the hub for livestock farming.
A massive cleanup of the premises is currently taking place. We are restoring the pastures, restoring the health of the animals, and renovating the buildings and refencing the area because we want Laura to to become the center for livestock development in this country. Goat, sheep, pig production will be done at Laura.
Maximizing the relationship with St. George's University and its livestock division, Minister David notes, will be pivotal to their goals.
We must work with them. In fact, a meeting has been set up, if not this week, next week, with St. George's University to discuss a memorandum of understanding with them with respect to livestock development. We must increase our breeds. There are sheep and goats in the world that are much larger than the ones we produce. We can substantially reduce the importation of meat if we develop our livestock industry.
Livestock research will also be prioritized at Laura, where Maribor becomes the home for research for plants.
We have an arrangement with Caribbean Agro. My dear brother Dabrio spoke about it many times. We have to find a way to correct that. If we do not correct that, we will not be able to break the back of that food import bill. $30 million a year is spent on importing poultry.
The Agriculture Minister highlights that the poultry subsector remains a challenge in terms of the price for feed, despite Cabinet establishing a committee to find solutions.
We may be able to research and find that there are other things we can produce in Grenada that is of high value. Because of the small nature of our society, we need high value products. So we are going to be working with them on that. We believe that Maribor should be the home of a research facility. We are therefore working with the Indian government through the Ministry for Foreign Affairs. We are working with the governments of the People's Republic of China.
Minister David adds that expanding production via increasing the acreage for agriculture in a number of areas by 400 acres will also be key in 2022. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
Meanwhile, the political leader of the National Democratic Congress, Deacon Mitchell, however, believes not enough has been budgeted for agriculture. He says while the NNP administration has boasted that $35 million was allocated for agriculture, the actual figure is just $19 million. Gerard Joseph tells us more.
Minus the allocations for feeder and farm roads, NDC's political leader Deacon Mitchell says a mere allocation of $19 million by votes, which equates to just 1.4% of the $1.3 billion was given to agriculture. Mitchell says they find it shocking that in response to a global pandemic that heightened global food prices, tripled freight, and disrupted the supply chain, so little attention is paid to food security.
You can contrast that with the percentage allocation for concrete, drains, roads, buildings. Citizens of Grenada, we cannot eat the road. We cannot eat the concrete drains. We cannot eat the buildings.
NDC's leader says Grenada runs the risk of starvation and destitution if resources are not put into agriculture, food security, and nutrition. He says despite the talk of programs to develop livestock and reduce the massive food import bill, proper planning with set targets have not been done.
When you have a budget that doesn't say, for example, by 2025, we want to be in a position where whether it's in absolute numbers or percentage, we want to have, for example, 10,000 more cattle on island, or 10,000 more goat or sheep or rabbit or whatever. You will not achieve it because you have no goal. So just merely saying you want to increase livestock is a bland statement that is not focused, and you therefore don't actually plan to achieve it.
Mitchell says to seriously tackle agricultural development, the government plus stakeholders must first quantify the goals to be achieved within the sector.
If, for example, we want to be in a position where we actually consume a certain percentage more of chicken or rabbit, we have to set that goal. The population has to be aware of it. And then we have to take the measures that will ensure that we are doing so. So if we take cattle, for example, you have to be able to identify the areas in which we can actually develop for cattle. The government, for example, has large estates. Was there any conversation by the government in saying we've identified 1 or 2 large estates, we will turn those estates, for example, into cattle or into mixed use between cattle and plants, with the view that by at the end of 2022 we have 500 herds of cattle? No, that kind of conversation doesn't take place because it is not taking place.
For any form of development, NDC's political leader reiterates that action targets must be had to ensure sustained improvement. I am Gerald Joseph for GBN News.
3 men charged in connection with the seizure of 364 pounds of cannabis were remanded to the Richmond Hill prison and are due to reappear in court on December 10th. Clydon Osborne, a 43-year-old fisherman, Vincentian, presently residing in Willis St. George, 42-year-old Victor Vespri, a fisherman of Bellevue St. David, and 38-year-old Anthony Simmons, a mason of Vincentian residing in Tempe St. George. They were all apprehended after officers attached to the drug squad unit intercepted a fishing boat vicinity of Cabbier Beach in Crowshoe, St. Andrew on Wednesday. The men, who have been charged with the offense of trafficking in a controlled drug, made their first court appearance at the Grenville Magistrates Court today. They were remanded to the prison and are due to reappear in court in 8 days. In other news, the Ministry of Education will continue to focus on various aspects of the educational sector and make the necessary changes needed to deliver a better educational platform for students. So says Minister of Education Emmeline Pear, who outlined her ministry's plans for the year 2022 with skills training set as a priority. Rena Pear-Thomas has more in this report.
Minister for Education Emmeline Pear says her ministry will continue to focus heavily on skills training in schools throughout the state of Grenada, as they will be offering a variety of CVQ certificates in different fields. This is important as the demand in the skills sector increase, not just in Grenada, but around the world.
Mr. Speaker, the issue of skills training, we are expanding that within our secondary schools. And Mr. Speaker, that has to be an area of top priority as we look at the role of TVET and skills training in the transformation of our society. Mr. Speaker, very critical for this government's agenda of transformation. Mr. Speaker, we're expanding the number of schools that are offering CVQ to our students for all levels and interests of our students as we continue in the new year.
Minister Pear, in her contribution to the 2022 budget presentation on Tuesday, also announced that plans are already in place to not only offer this training to students, but also communities, generating jobs and reducing the unemployment rate.
But Mr. Speaker, not just at our schools, and I've always said this, 2:30, we shouldn't be closing schools. 2:30 is when the people who are not in the regular 8 to 2:30 class should be coming in. And Mr. Speaker, this year we have been piloting in communities as it relates to offering opportunities, people who are employed, people who are unemployed, to take advantage of how can I acquire a skill, how can I be certified, how do I develop the competencies so that I can create employment, I can generate employment, but I can be self-employed. And so, Mr. Speaker, we forged...
The ministry will also undertake an intense review of the island's curriculum, as they will be undergoing the training and development of curriculum officers.
Mr. Speaker, of course, training and development of curriculum officers would be a critical focus as we go into this new period. Greater support for teachers on the ground would be a critical focus in the new year, and our curriculum officers have been challenged in that regard with their new terms of reference. Mr. Speaker, we must review the number of compulsory subjects that every student is compelled to do at the beginning of their secondary school life. We must review this.
For GBN News, I am Rena Pear-Thomas reporting.
And now it's time for our weekly GBN Health feature. This week, Krista Campbell turns the focus on the new COVID-19 variant.
When you need your prescription filled or you require non-prescribed medication, supplements, or all your personal needs, visit Gittins Healthcare at locations on Wall Street, Grandans, Victoria Street, Glenwood, and Central Deputy Street, Wall. Gittins Healthcare aims to provide an exceptional personalized pharmacy experience. Additionally, children under 5 and adults 55 years and over will enjoy 10% discount on purchases of $20 and over on prescription medication. Stop settling for less. Visit Gittins Healthcare, where your health is our priority.
A new coronavirus variant was detected in South Africa by scientists on November 24, 2021. Classified as the highly transmissible variant of concern, the now named Omicron has caused panic across the world, with many nations shutting their doors in a flashback to the early days of the outbreak of the pandemic.
We shouldn't need another wake-up call. We should all be wide awake to the threat of this virus. But Omicron's very emergence is another reminder that although many of us might think we're done with COVID-19, it's not done with us. We're living through a cycle of panic and neglect. Hard-won gains could vanish in an instant. Our most immediate task, therefore, is to end this pandemic.
Experts say viruses constantly change through mutation, and new variants of a virus that arise from these mutations are expected to occur over time. Multiple variants of the virus that causes COVID-19 have been documented globally during this pandemic.
As the pandemic continues, variants have become the latest concern, with notable examples detected in South Africa, Brazil, and the UK. But variants are complicated. Each one is made up of a collection of mutations, all of which have the potential to change the SARS-CoV-2 virus in unexpected ways.
As the new COVID-19 variant Omicron strengthens and migrates across the world, several nations imposed travel bans and restrictions on countries affected by the disease. Persons with a travel history in the last 14 days to Zimbabwe, Botswana, Lesotho, and Eswatini will not be allowed into Grenada. The advisory was announced last Friday by the government of Grenada and takes immediate effect. Meanwhile, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said on Wednesday that it has confirmed the first U.S. case of the Omicron strain of COVID-19 in a man in California who had returned from South Africa on November 22nd. According to the World Health Organization Director General, the COVID-19 Omicron variant poses a very high risk of infection that could have severe consequences in some parts of the world.
The emergence of the highly mutated Omicron variant underlines just how perilous and precarious our situation is.
For this week's Health Update, I am Krista Campbell reporting.
And now we go to Rena Perry-Thomas for today's Social Buzz, as she has been looking around the platform.
We present the news. You analyze the various topics and distill the issues as they unfold. Your distillation points matter, as we're about to highlight them in our Social Buzz report.
The Mitchell versus Mitchell election battle has seemingly begun in earnest. This as Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell launched a few jabs at recently elected political leader of the National Democratic Congress, Deacon Mitchell, during the budget debate on Wednesday. GBN brought this story and you, our online audience, to to the comment section to air your views. Marianne said, PM, you are wrong on this one. Deacon did a job in his private capacity. He is not obligated to give back anything. It's like asking someone to give up their salary just as they got paid. Maybe we can ask the same for ministers of government. This should not be made a political issue. The people's business is too important. Icon Boss commented, the PM is intimidated by the young man's ability, hence the mudsliding. This is a weak political tactic, but I am not surprised. He does this all the time. Kireen Jolly wrote, the man has done nothing wrong or unethical. His job as a lawyer is to represent the interests of his client to the best of his ability. His duty is to apply a fee for the legal service provided. The client has a right to accept or refuse the price offered. I wish we can stop the character assassination and go back to the days of addressing issues of national importance. And finally, TD Andrew commented, what nonsense. We're not interested in the mudsliding. Please stick to the issues affecting the country. People aren't only hungry close to election. Grenadians shouldn't be victimized and forced out of jobs because they call the government out of unsavory behavior. There are various individuals who have experienced this. Government should welcome critics, as this is the only way to be sure there's room for improvement. That's a wrap for tonight's Buzz. Continue to share your thoughts and concerns with us on our social media platforms.
You have been waiting on it all year. Now it's your chance to make this Christmas better than ever. Get the extra cash you need with a Make This Christmas Better loan from the GUT Credit Union. Get up to $50,000 to celebrate your Christmas and make your holiday dreams come true. Home improvements, new furniture, a vehicle, debt consolidation, or even a vacation. We can help you get there. Yes, you can. Make this Christmas better with the GUT Credit Union. It's where you belong.
Are you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements, or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 418-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Foliage, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
Once upon a time, we shopped at Wonderland, then Neverland. But we're all grown up now and no longer believe in fairy tales. So now we just shop at Shoes R Us. At Shoes R Us, we stock the latest in shoes, tops, and jeans for the fashion-conscious lady. We also carry colognes and much, much more. And for the modern trendy male, we have the latest brand-name shoes and sneakers, Converse, Reebok, Nike, K-Swiss, Puma, and much more. So check us out at our two convenient locations, Melville Street in St. George and Ben Jones Street in Granville. At Shoes R Us, we say, come shop with us.
Get vaxxed, hey, hey, vaccinated. Get vaxxed, hey, hey, get vaccinated. Vaccinated. So wear your mask up, wash your hands up, and practice social distance. This is we chance to advance. Come let we fight this COVID at once. So come on, let we fall in line. We want to come back to with social life. There is vaccination island wide. So come on, let we fight it to protect we and we family.
This is a message from the Grenada Red Cross and the Ministry of Health.
Introducing YouTube and TikTok to the Digicel Prime Bundle. Now get 1 GB daily to enjoy more YouTube. Plus 1 GB daily to like more TikTok videos. It's
simply more entertainment bundled together. Get a 7-day bundle for $35 in My Digicel. More apps, more data, more fun. Digicel, better together.
State-of-the-art Ultratech gasoline and diesel, available only at Rubis stations.
Running low on groceries? Why not visit realvalueiga.com and experience our new online shopping platform. Place your order, then go out and enjoy your day to spend more time with friends and family. Delivery available within select locations or in-store pickup available. Sounds simple, right? It is. Stress less, live more with Real Value IGA online store, where good food begins.
Introducing Color by Sissons. 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 Color by Sissons.
Grenada, we want you to get ready. The whole of the Tri-Island for the housing census 2021. Yeah, this is a call to the nation. I have some information. It's important. I want everyone join us in support of the census. So come here, let's count the population to give the right amount. We need you on board. The entire public, your support, we really need it. AI, starting from the 15th of September, help us count every number. Yeah, to improve the life of the people. We need information, calling out to the nation. We don't want to leave anyone out. So for we get the statistics, you got to partake in it. Yeah, cause the nation depend on you, on you, on you. Grenada depend on you, on you, on you. Caribou depend on you. Hey, Pity Matnik too. We need all of you. Yeah.
Get Rubigas. Get cooking. Rubigas, clean, safe, and reliable LPG is the perfect solution for your commercial and everyday needs. For cooking at home or barbecuing, choose Rubigas LPG cylinders. Available in a variety of sizes from 20 to 100 pound cylinders. Rubigas LPG, clean, safe, reliable. Are you cooking with Rubigas?
Rubis, get going.
Let's get tough on breed larceny. It will destroy our economy. Larceny threatens our food security. Can hurt us locally, hurt us globally. To all the buyers, ask for license from all produce sellers. To all people, 400 for police for them thieving fellas. To all the families, don't steal produce from your brother. Then you sell it to traffickers, hotels and street vendors. Nah, man. Let's do all we can to stop radio larceny. New vigilance, new laws, and a tough judiciary. Stop Grenada's organized business crime. It's time.
To report pre-deal larceny, call 300.
Are you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements, or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 418-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment.
Can rely on LaCour Brothers Funeral Home. We provide a personalized professional service that exceeds all expectations. Our dedicated staff responds to your every need with the greatest detail, ensuring affordability with a variety of options. Upgraded state-of-the-art facilities, spacious air-conditioned chapel with live internet streaming, a modern, environmentally safe crematorium, the only of its kind on island, private viewing spaces, large on-site repast center, a modern transportation fleet. Join our burial society today and make personalized arrangements for that final moment. As you prepare to enter your loved one into eternal rest, visit or call LaCour Brothers Funeral Home and select a package that brings added comfort to the entire family. LaCour Brothers Funeral Home and Burial Society, continuing a tradition of excellence.
This the season, Grenada, and all the action is happening on GBN. It's a mid-morning show like no other, with shopping deals, giveaways, karaoke fun, Christmas recipes, and a whole lot more. This the season for caring, sharing, and reaching out to those in need. This the season. Weekdays from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on GBN Television, Classic Radio, and GBN's Facebook and YouTube pages. Promotion runs from November 8th to December 31st. Stay tuned to this station for more info.
Tis the Season is made possible by Ace Hardware, Gittins Healthcare, Grenada Tourism Authority, The Country Cold Store, Grenada Paper Products, and Sissons Paints.
So much to see. Every corner I turn, there's something there to remind me of my beautiful nation and what it means to me.
Greetings everyone. I hope this message meets you and yours in the best of health as we join in encouraging all to act responsibly.
COVID-19 presents the most serious
and deadly challenge any of us will experience in our lifetimes.
We must act now.
We need to keep the Caribbean safe.
We can all help to stop the spread of the coronavirus. Please stay at home.
So Caribbean people, please stay home. Caribbean people, please stay at home.
Please stay home. It's that simple. This too shall pass. But for now, stay home.
Stay in your yard. Stay home, stay safe.
One day I woke up and they painted a set of pedestrian crossing all along the streets. Nobody told us how to use that thing properly.
I know how.
You're serious?
Every safe, good driver knows about these things. As a driver, you have to be very attentive. You're coming up close to a pedestrian cross, you start slowing down immediately, looking to see if there's any pedestrian on the side getting ready to cross. If there is, you stop on the line that is a certain distance before the crosswalk. Then you would see the pedestrian put their hands out, looking directly at you, indicating that they are going to cross. And only when you have come to a complete stop, that is when they will quickly and safely cross to the other side. And then you continue happily on your journey.
Stop, look, hand out, eye contact, wait for pedestrian to cross. Then you happily continue on your journey.
This message is brought to you by this group of insurance companies, the Traffic Advisory Body, and the Traffic Department.
Feel good facts. Help prevent cold and flu by washing your hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. That's the time it takes to remove most germs. No soap and water? No worries when you've got alcohol-based hand sanitizer.
"21 minutes gone past the hour in the morning time" is the sound of classic. And we say good morning and welcome back to our viewers on GBN television. That's channel 7, channel 11, or channel 20 if you are in cable. Good morning again to our listeners on Classic 105.5, 105.9, or if you're joining us via the World Wide Web at www.gbn.gd, or possibly our Facebook feed or our YouTube channel. Welcome back to the program. We continue on a series that we started some 2 weeks ago, looking at dental care during the pandemic. And interestingly, it has been quite an educational exercise. We've been joined by yet another practitioner from the industry, Dr. Mc Millan. Good morning, Doc. How are you? Happy to have you here with me this morning.
Good morning, Mr. Cadore. I'm happy and blessed in the Lord. I'm very happy to be here with you.
I'm happy that you accepted the invitation. I want to start kick-started. Two of your colleagues made mention of something that was really quite interesting, and for me it was the first time I never actually made the connection. And the persons who made mention of it, the relationship between dental care, that connection, and heart disease, and they made that connection, that comparison. And I want us, if possible, that we can elaborate, because very often when we think of dental care, we think of just it's our mouths, and it has nothing to do with any other parts of our bodies. But from what your colleagues have shared with us, that is the furthest thing from the truth, isn't it?
Well, basically, I must say before going into dental health and heart problem that oral health affects almost any and every part of our body, simply because the mouth is the gateway to the body, and how we keep the mouth, the health of the mouth, would determine what we eat, what we can take into our body, and how it would or would not affect our general health. 90% of systemic diseases have the first manifestation in the mouth. If someone neglects their oral health and do not visit the dentist, a lot of these health issues would become worse, or before they would identify or realize that they have that health problem. But your regular visit to the dentist would help you to discover at a very early time what is going on in your body.
Right.
And at teaching time would save 9. In our mouths, for example, the predominant bacteria are the Streptococcus bacteria. And these bacteria, when they get into your blood system, for example, after an extraction or on a daily basis, we have multiple ruptures of the capillaries in our mouth. And when these bacteria enter into your system, somebody who has an already sick heart, this bacteria can affect even further the valves in your heart and aggravate a problem that is already there. So oral health is important in order to prevent the aggravation of other systemic disease. It's important that you visit your dentist regularly and take good care of your oral health.
You say that with a smile, but the truth is that's not a culture that we've developed in Grenada.
It has not, and it's unfortunate. And I remember a few years ago when I did my master's in public health at the St. George's University, and as a senior dentist then, I had a lot to contribute, and that was one of the reasons why I went into the field of public health, because I realized to get people to become more aware of the importance of good oral health, I needed an outlet, right? And at the university, I did a study, and one of the things that I discovered was that even in the medical schools, that the dental health component is not being focused on. I interviewed quite a number of medical professionals, doctors, right? Both here in Grenada and abroad. And I asked them, what has it been like in their training, in their curriculum, as it regards to the association between oral health and systemic disease? And they said nothing in that light was being taught to them. And since our population, they would more tend to visit a medical doctor than a dentist. They come to a dentist when they have a problem, but they go to the medical doctor for any and everything that pops up in their body. And I feel that this thing is something that has to be addressed at the level of the training of the doctors, where they become aware of oral health and its impact on general health, so that when a patient comes to them, they do not have to be a dentist to advise them, but they can advise them accordingly. They can nip it in the bud, discover it at an early timing, and direct the patient accordingly.
The conversation of oral health is not just about the physical man, but it also helps one emotionally, the way he or she feels about him, about herself.
Of course. Your self-esteem. is affected by your oral health. And maybe people are, when they think of oral health, they are thinking about a few decayed teeth to the front of the mouth. It goes much beyond that. It has to do with your appearance, with your diction, how you speak. It has to do with your breath, your social relationship, the way you communicate with people, and what might be in the back of your head while you are communicating because of improper oral hygiene. And it really affects you from the time you start school. And I have seen it all the time when we do school children program. The children who have a lot of dental caries, they do not feel as confident to come out and to explain themselves, to answer questions, to just be a normal child in the school. Either they are being teased by other children or they lack the self-confidence. So we cannot overestimate the importance of oral health in the psychological development of a child. And even when you become an adult, in the way you express your personality.
So as such, doctors, it's important that the conversation of dental care is one that is introduced at a very early age.
Early age. I normally would recommend that it begins with the expectant mother, because the teeth, they start their formation while the child is still in the uterus. And if the mother is educated along that line, many things could be prevented. Even her diet, how it would affect the formation and development of the teeth, the kind of medication that she might be taking, or the procedures that she might be exposed to, all of which can affect the development of the child's teeth. So when you educate an expectant mother, it's not just for herself, but also for the future of that child. And of course, once the child is being born, the mother would know what is expected of her in taking care of this child's teeth and why it is important that she does this.
Diet, at the end of the day, plays a critical component in having good oral hygiene and addressing some of those concerns. Speak to us about the proper diet that one should engage in so as to avoid some of those dental challenges.
Well, basically, I must say first and foremost, any food can cause teeth decay. However, there are some foods that the bacteria in the mouth prefer to host on. And the sweet, sticky foods, these are the type of food that the bacteria loves best. But any food can cause the decay. In that light, I would like to just say it for what it is worth. Good oral health, whereas it depends largely on your diet, it also depends on your brushing habit. For teeth to decay, you need teeth, which we have in our mouth. We need bacteria, which we have in our mouth. We need food particles, which we put into our mouth. And the most important thing there is time. Time is of the essence. Because you can eat all the sweet things and all the sticky food, but if immediately you resort to cleaning it out of your teeth, you are not leaving room for teeth decay. Whereas somebody may not be eating those sweet, sticky foods, and they might be having a proper diet. But they leave these food particles in their mouth overnight or for the entire day. And although there was nothing sweet or sticky in it, the bacteria would still act upon them and cause teeth decay. Nonetheless, because we know that we are in a culture where people very rarely walk or go to school or to work with a toothbrush, to avoid teeth decay, to minimize it, we ask people to look at what you eat. The foods that the bacteria prefer, that they can host on more easily, we ask you to avoid it. If you know you would not be brushing your teeth afterwards or within the next few hours, you would not be brushing your teeth. There are some foods that can help you clean the teeth even if you don't have a toothbrush at hand. So we encourage people to engage in such foods, fibrous foods, foods rich in fiber. The elderly people would tell you about how much sugar cane they used to use. It had sugar, but because of the fibers from the sugar, it helps to clean the teeth. There are some food that you ingest that your tongue can remove it, but there are others that don't. So in terms of diet, we have to think of the sugar content. We also have to think of the fiber content and the ability for auto-cleaning in the mouth in cases where you do not have a toothbrush readily available. The ability for these foods to be cleaned out of the mouth.
Keeping us quite informed. And then, Doc, there's a conversation of the need for flossing.
Yes. Flossing is important because when we do dental examinations, one of the things that we find most is that dental caries oftentimes begin in the crease between two teeth, apart from on the biting surface. And this is because food gets trapped in there and the food remain there. They are in an area where oxygen is not readily available. The bacteria in our mouth, they survive best where they cannot get oxygen. So when food particles get between the teeth, oxygen, you do not have an easy flow of oxygen in this area. When the bacteria reach there, they are in the dikingdom cup. How are you going to get these food particles out from these creases? Many times people's teeth are so closely knitted, so close together, that it's very difficult to get the toothbrush, the bristles of the toothbrush, to get into the space.
Right.
And people to use the dental floss. But even in using the dental floss, you have to be so cautious because some people, they use the dental floss and they, first of all, in starting to use the dental floss, you may encounter a little resistance according to how close your teeth are. So they push abruptly into that space to get over that resistance, and they plunge themselves immediately into the gum. And it's a nice feeling. So what they do, they take the dental floss and they saw the gum. When you do that, you are actually cutting the ligaments that join the teeth to the bone. As you cut the ligaments, a space is made between the teeth and the gum, creating a bigger vacuum for more food to be accumulated in this area. So you try to solve one problem and you create another. So in the use of dental floss, one has to be very careful and discreet in how you use it, and do not pass the gum line, because when you pass the gum line, you go into the ligaments, you cut them, and you create a problem.
Doc, time waits on no man, and this conversation can become so engrossed. We can become so engrossed in the conversation. While you are that, though, let's talk about the need for proper brushing technique before we wrap.
Okay, normally I would tell my patient, you brush your teeth in the same direction in which it grows. The teeth at the bottom, you brush them up from the gum, away from the gum, up. And those at the top, you brush them down. And the reason why, when you brush them across, some people would go in, out, in, out. So you remove the food particles from the behind, you push them in front, and then you still take them and you push them back at the back again. So I recommend single stroke for the direction in which the teeth grow. And when you reach the biting surface, you bring them out and not out and in, out and in. the double movement is not recommended.
Not recommended by Dr. Marcia Mc Millan. Doc, where can we find you on any given day?
I'm in Grenville on Victoria Street, right upstairs Cuman's Tire Shop. I'm there 7 days a week.
7 days a week?
6 days out of 7 days.
I was wondering, when do you get time to rest and remain so youthful? Doc, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Continue to do the great work that you do. And again, thanks for accepting the invitation to joining me on the morning show. All the best to you.
Thank you.
Take care, Doc.
Thank you. God bless.
God bless you. Folks, we're keeping our eyes on the clock. I have my next guest waiting in the wing. 22 minutes on to the hour. A bit of Steve Theodore. The man is lyrically sung and in time with the season. Yeah, we take a quick commercial break though. We'll be right back, right here on the Morning Show and Classic.
This is Island Life. Let us inspire you as we showcase our love for design, food, and fashion.
Looking for that injection of vibes and energy, of course? Well, I've got just that. Hi, my name is Gary Mr. Smooth, and I'm inviting you to join me on the Hot Morning Show on Hot 98.5, 98.7 FM. Weekdays, Monday to Friday, 6 to 10 in the morning. I've got a healthy dose of your favorite and most infectious hits sampled with information, news, laughter, and all the other ingredients that go into making the hottest morning show on the radio. The Morning Heat. And while you're at it, don't forget to hit us up on WhatsApp, 435-7517. We've got topics, we've got discussions, calls, voice notes, and so much more. But I can't tell you everything. You gotta tune in. The Hot Morning Show on Hot FM 98.5, 98.7 with yours truly, Gary Mr. Smooth. Kaboom!
GBN Television News at 7, a pulse on all things Grenadian. Look out for our new features through expanded synergies with our media partners in Barbados, St. Lucia, Jamaica, Trinidad, and beyond. Capturing the latest in news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Credible, informative. Thank you for making us number one. News at 7.
The number of deaths and the number number of affected countries.
Yeah, the songs of Steve Theodore in the morning time, folks. It is 20, we move past that. It is 18 minutes on to the hour, 8 o'clock in the morning time. It is classic and radio and GBN television in the morning. The role of the Red Cross, we hear a lot about them, but critical to the success of the Red Cross is the role that volunteers play in ensuring that the Red Cross, they achieve their goals and their objective. And it's always good that in the conversation of volunteerism that you recognize the volunteers and the role that they play. And this weekend, it is a volunteerism week, and certainly the folks inside of the Red Cross, they are going full out with a full week of activities to say thank you to their volunteers, which I'm not one, but I should become one. And I know that Katie and Morain from the Red Cross, one of the directors, she would agree with me. Good morning, Katie, and how are you?
I am wonderful, and let me say good morning to viewers, listeners of GBN, and thanks for the opportunity given to the Grenada Red Cross to share with you this morning. And yes, you should be, and by the end of the program, I hope that you would be one of the person who would be signing up to become one of our volunteers.
Well, maybe I could be a volunteer in the capacity of a media partner. Maybe.
Definitely. We have many different fields, and definitely we welcome all of the different professionals that we can get on board with us as we continue to strive to reach humanity as best as we possibly can.
As you continue in that vein, Sunday, quite special for you. It signifies a week of activities.
Sunday is one of the remarkable days on the calendar of Red Cross. So it would be recognized. The 5th of December is recognized annually as International Volunteers Day. And the Grenada Red Cross for this year, we have a week of celebrations. It started on Wednesday with movie night. And so we had our volunteers here at our conference room, and we enjoyed an action movie. And we would continue today, and the team would be at the Esplanade Mall later on this afternoon, and we would have a volunteer recruitment drive. And then tomorrow we would have our award ceremony, which will take place right here at our conference room. We will culminate the activities on Sunday with a hike and beach day. And it would be an exciting day at BBC. And so we look forward to having as many as our volunteers as we possibly can as we celebrate with them, recognize them, salute them, because the work of the Red Cross, it can never happen without these persons who give their services selflessly to make our work happen.
A party is always good on this days, but talk to us as the reason for celebration. The Red Cross, who are you? What do you really do? And why the need for those volunteers?
So the Red Cross, and if you know history, we are one of the largest voluntary organization globally. From our foundation, we started from the noble effort of one man, and it was through voluntarism. He saw the need to assist. It was back in 1859, and if you can go back in history, you'll realize that the battle in Solferino is one that led to the establishment of this noble organization that we serve today. Our fundamental principles, we are guided by 7 of them. They are humanity, impartiality, neutrality, independence, voluntarism or voluntary service, unity, and also in universality. So by virtue of our own principle, voluntarism is clearly embedded in it, and we cannot do this work by ourselves. It is through the efforts of men and women who are willing to give those services and see the need to assist that we can continue what we're doing. So volunteerism is a key part of what we do, and volunteers will always be dear to us. And so we want to, at every point as we possibly can, stop to say thank you, recognize them, and also just give them a tap on the shoulder, because they have been doing a lot. This year, our celebration will be done under the theme Unstoppable. And we are indeed unstoppable because through it all, we are continuing to face this pandemic, and our volunteers continue to be out there serving, working along with the different stakeholders, the Ministry of Health, and all other partners to ensure we bring the services that is required to our communities. And so I really pause to say thank you from our governing board to even staff who support in that capacity, and our volunteers throughout the length and breadth of Grenada, Caribou, Petit Martinique. I say thank you this morning. Thank you for all that you continue to do. And to the persons who are not yet a volunteer, remember, our doors are open to you. If you're willing to give back to your community, if you're willing to help your community, then the Grenada Red Cross is one of the places that you would like to commit some service.
I was saying that your service is required every day, anywhere and everywhere, isn't it?
It is. And so sometimes it is so difficult to provide it at any given time or every time, because we definitely have limitations. We have challenges, one of which is resources. And we are quite reliant on volunteers, and volunteers have their daily duties as well, and so they can only give time when they have that time. So it's one of the challenges that we continue to face in terms of limited resources to do the many different things that we would love to do. And so we continue to be thankful to our donors, who are our main means of providing financial support as it relates to staffing, so we can continue certain projects and also support programs. But one of the things that we are looking deeper into is to see how we can increase our income generating activities so we can do more. And we can only do more if we have more and can give more.
Projects and programs that you're involved in, what are some of them?
So in a general sense, the Grenada Red Cross, our programs continues to be health and safety, disaster preparedness and response, social welfare, and youth program. These are our main programs. In recent times, we have sort of branch where we look at including things like protection, gender and inclusion, resource mobilization and management. We delve deeper into climate change as well, and also looking at digital transformation and data literacy in terms of internal capacity so we can serve better. Projects, we currently have the Resilient Island Project, and it is a project that is currently taking place in the greater Grenville Bay area. That's around Mackay, Subies, Grenville Town Telescope. And it's geared at building resilience in a comprehensive way as it relates to the impact of climate change. We have a number of activities that is currently taking place. Some of it's shoreline restoration, beautification, and we also have an exercise that is planned with that community as well, coming up sometime in the new week. As part of that as well, we have some activity with the fisher folks in that community. We also continue in our COVID-19 outbreak response project. And so we would have done a number of activities that started last year. And we are continuing, and we are in the heat of our advocacy for immunization activities that is continuing throughout different communities across Grenada. And these are the main projects that we are involved in currently. And we just continue to try to see how best we can serve our communities, empower our community, educate our communities, and so we can become, less vulnerable and build that capacity so persons can be maybe live better lives.
Indeed, a noble cause. How many volunteers do you have thereabout?
So currently, in terms of active volunteers, just around 200. I'm talking about in adults. In terms of our database, though, we have in excess of 1,000. And at the youth level, meaning schools, which is primary, secondary, our last count was just about 1,200.
And these are the individuals you see at sport meets. You see them all where you go, and they just go around unassumingly doing their due.
That's correct. So we have a really nice youth program. And so at the school level, you would have youth leaders, and they would religiously commit their time towards grooming children into some of the different program areas that I spoke about before. And they go through the process of being enrolled. And enrollment is really a huge activity. And so they do their promise and commit themselves to actually serving the community. And it is so good when you can have that positive sort of influence in children's life at that tender age. If they grow up doing those things, having that love for the community and serving, it's really difficult to depart as they grow older. So it is one of our flagship as it relates to youth involvement in the humanitarian work. And so we have had some challenges in the past year or so, but we hope as COVID, we actually try to get rid of it and normalize our operations and return to that state of where we were before, that all of these activities would go back into being fully activated. And so we can have more young persons being involved in humanitarian work and volunteering, and also as they come out of the school system and graduate and go on to live in adult life, that they'll continue to be part of the adult groups that we have throughout our country.
Transitioning from one stage to the next, and I do hope that continues.
Correct.
We running out of time, but again, before we go though, inform us as to how can one become a participant in the Red Cross, and again, just remind us of the activities as part that would mark the celebration.
Okay, sure. So to become a volunteer, it's simple. You just, once you have time and you're willing to, you can contact the Grenada Red Cross 440-1483, or you can visit our website, www.grenadaredcross.gd, and you can complete the volunteers registration form right there. For the week of activities for Volunteers Day 2021. So we started on Wednesday with movie night. Today we would be at the Esplanade Mall just around 3 o'clock. So look out for the Red Cross team. We would be down there. We would be doing registration as well. Tomorrow we move into our Volunteer Awards ceremony, and we culminate our activity on Sunday with a hike and also beach activity at BBC. So if you didn't get it, feel free to maybe call us. But again, look out for us, and we'll try to be live stream some of those so you can follow us as well. And we look forward to just enjoying that time with our volunteers. Considering that we are still in COVID, we try to ensure that we observe the required protocols and so reduce any risk of transmitting the virus as well. So that is one of the things that we are very keen on as we conduct these activities.
Can I come register on Sunday on BBC? I would love to. You can't deny me that, right? Can you? I mean, come on. I want to volunteer. I want to start to feel the spirit and the warmth of the Red Cross family.
Well, the thing about it is that we always have a welcome arms for persons, and recruitment does not stop based on where you are. You understand? So we offer that flexibility, and if that's where the recruitment can be done, why not?
I think why so, because the beach is a public place. So I just happen to be on the beach while you guys happen to be there, and
that is just fine.
And you just happen to sign me up.
Well, we can take the initial information from you, and we can continue that process thereafter.
And I'm assuming before we run, because we're almost out of time, we can find you on social media and other platforms?
That's correct. So you can find us on Facebook, we are on Twitter, we are on Instagram. So you can follow us, and again, check out our website, www.grenadaredcross.gd.
www.grenadaredcross.gd. Thank you, Lady Morain. All the best. Enjoy the activities and continue to do what you do in the spirit of volunteerism and humanity.
Thank you so very much, and thanks for having us. Have a great day.
You take care. All the best. Take care.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Folks, you need to go out there, become part of the Red Cross, become part of a voluntary group, be part of something, a humanitarian gesture that gives value, not just to who you are as an individual, but certainly you supported the development of humanity. 3 minutes on to the hour. This is where I have to leave you for now. Indeed, it was a pleasure being here with you. Thanks to everybody that was part of this conversation. Alistair Warwood, those of you that's on social media, Yulene and everybody, from sending you lots of love from us here in Grenada to you in New York, wherever you are in other parts of the diaspora. Peace and love. We joined the BBC at the top of the hour for a bulletin of news. I will return with you at 9 o'clock for To The Point. Today's an open line. We continue to look at the latest conversations surrounding the budget, your thoughts on it, what's happening for the Christmas, as we continue to, as I say, mind our own business in this little piece, on this little piece of rock that is called Grenada. Peace and love. I'm out of here for now. The BBC, we join them at the top of the hour for a bulletin of news.